joker, I'm a smoker, I'm a midnight toker. I give my loving on the run. I'm a joker.
Hey everybody, and welcome back. So today I wanted to film a get ready with me tutorial. This is going to be a quick one because I've actually already prepped my face and put my base on and my concealer, but I wanted to kind of show you guys this really cool eye look that I created a few days ago. And as we're kind of winding down from summer and we're in that Indian summer, almost fall kind of, you know, we're there but not quite there because summer was like, bitch, I ain't ready to go kind of thing, you know what I mean. But I have a really pretty tapestry that inspired this look, and you will see it in 1, 2, 3. And basically, this tapestry just inspired me to want to create some really pretty purples and pinks and warmth and oranges, and just, you know, kind of like a farewell to summer and hello fall. But we're not quite there yet, so I'm not rocking my plaid or my boots or any of that stuff yet. But yeah, pretty much summer, you can kick it. Okay, I've had enough of you. My curls have had enough of you. They're tired of being frizzy. I'm tired of being sweaty. I'm tired of being oily. Anyway, without any further ado, let's get into this. So I've already prepped my face. For foundation today, I used Milani's Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 in number 3 light beige and number 6 sand beige. Mix the two because I'm not quite light enough and not quite dark enough for either shade, and I find that the balance of both really fits me beautifully. For concealer today, I used a little bit more bougie, my Clinique Beyond Perfecting that I'm almost done with. This is a foundation as well as concealer in one, although I believe they now have the concealer, but I find these two formulations extremely comparable, one being $10, one being upwards of $27. So based on your bank account and your budget, I think either one will work beautifully for a look like this. To set though, I'm going to use my Dermablend because this is one of my favorite setting powders currently, aside from the Laura Mercier. And before we go ahead and set this, let's just take a concealer brush. This is from IT Cosmetics, and I'm just going to very gently dust over my concealer and make sure that everything is smoothed out. There is no cracking and creasing, because when you go to set your foundation and your concealer, you want to make sure that everything is set. You can even... Okay, so basically once you get that set, you're going to leave it be. You can dust it off right away. I know some people say that it doesn't really matter for them how long they set for. I personally like to let it soak in while I work on my other makeup because I feel like there's definitely a difference when you just instantly wipe it off versus letting it set for a while. That's just my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. So moving on to eyes. This is really the bulk of this tutorial today because this is the look. This is what was inspired, you know, like I said, by the tapestry. And to create this look, I'm going to be using the Zulu palette from Juvia's Place, which is a newer palette for my collection. I really, really love it. It's very versatile. And then the Masquerade palette, which I've shown you guys before. This is just a really pretty, colorful palette. And this is definitely, the top portion is more for like the daring and the bottom is more for like your basic bitches. And you can even use some of these colors too, the mattes for contour powders based on the skin tone and texture of your skin, but it's just a beautiful staple to have. Whereas Zulu is just gonna be very bizarre and different because who would think to put like brown and then teal and like all this stuff together in one palette. So anyway, but the first thing we're going to do is start off with this really pretty golden color, and we're going to work that in on a nice big fluffy brush. So get one of the fluffiest eyeshadow brushes that you have and make sure it's clean, obviously. Just dust mine off. So we're going to take that fluffy brush, dip it into our yellow in any kind of golden color. This reminds me a lot of Goldenrod from MAC, and it's just more of like your true canary yellow. just a goldy yellow color. But we're just going to dust this back and forth into the crease, and it's okay to take this up a bit towards the brow bone because this is really just going to be the underlying warmth that we see in this crease look. We're going to be building quite a bit of color on it, so it's okay if you're a little bit sloppy and messy with this color because it's not the true color we're trying to show off. But this will definitely help give that gradient effect on. So the next step to this look, we're going to take a Morphe M330, which is still in that fluffy family. It's not quite stiff and tapered, but it's also not quite as big as the BH Cosmetics brush. So with that, we want to dip now into the orange color in the Zulu, and this is just kind of more of your tangerine mandarin color. And this is going to go into the crease as well, very light-handedly. And you're just going to circle and build this color on top of that gold. Then once you're done with that color, go back with your BH brush and just kind of blend the two colors together until they're nice and uniform and they're merged basically, so that you don't see one color and another color. You're just kind of seeing almost like a sunset, which is the vibe we're going for, like a midsummer's night. Then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take a Sigma E40 brush, again in that same kind of fluffy but somewhat tapered family, and we're going to dip it into this really pretty pink. It's almost like a pink red, and I call it the 80s pink because 80s pink was either really neon and bubblegum, or it was just like pretty bland and Pepto-Bismol-y. And this is more of that kind of like mixture of like reddish bubblegum Pepto-Bismol look. But anyway, we're going to now buff that into the crease as well. And it's okay if it covers that mandarin color, because we just want to see, like I said, that gradient effect of the darkest colors up into the light yellow. So again, just be very light-handed because they are very bold colors. And just build it a little bit at a time. You don't have to put a ton of product on your brush. You also don't have to push the brush into the skin. It's just gently laying on top and dusting it onto the skin. Okay, so now that that is set, we are going to actually switch over to a different palette. And we're going to take out of the Magic palette, or excuse me, the Masquerade palette from Juvia's Place, we're going to take this pretty color Zobo, which is like a grapish purple. It's like a warm purple, so like more of a, I guess, grapey purple. I can't think of it. It looks like Barney. It looks like Barney, guys, okay? And we're going to take that on a Morphe M441, which is a fluffier brush, but definitely more tapered and flattened at the tip. And that's going to really get deep into that crease and build a harder line. So that's why we want to go in with that purple on a brush like this. And what you could even do is very gently put your finger on your brow bone area and just very slightly pull. Not too hard because your eyes are sensitive, but just enough to really get into the actual socket. And again, we're not pushing this color, we're just gently pressing it on the top layer of the skin. Your bristles will hug the eye naturally, but they shouldn't be smushed into it. You know what I mean? It's just going to be more of a dusting. And you can already see how it just accentuates the eye compared to this one, and it just gives it that pop. And again, just go sparingly because these colors are very, very pigmented. And you're just going to kind of circle it around the outside corner now. Now we're going to start building the depth in the crease here. And we just want to focus this right on the outside corner of the eye into the outside V. I'm really starting to like the way that it's all kind of coming together. Now what I want to do is take an IT Cosmetics crease brush. Again, this is a detailer, so this is probably the most tapered brush. When you work with the darkest color, use the tightest, most tapered and dense packed brush. And for that darker color, we're actually going to first go into our Maybelline City Mini palette. I just spoke about this palette in my previous video, so you know I had to rep it, okay? But we're going to take this really dark kind of plummy brownish color. I mean, there's really nothing else to say about it. It's just like a really rich kind of winey brown plum color. And that is going to go on the outside V. So for that, I'm going to use my mirror. And you're just going to circle this right onto the lid. And then very gently circle it upwards into that crease. And you can kind of create it however far up you want it. It's really just whatever you want to make of it. You're going to shape the eye this way, and I want to kind of bring this upward and lift my eyes. And whatever's kind of left, you just gently dust into the rest of the colors in the crease. So now you'll see that variation of all those different colors, nice and blended, and then you're kind of lifting the eye up with this darker color. So now that we have our crease all set, what we're going to start doing is working with the lid. So for that, I'm going to use a Morphe 124 brush, which is just your basic flat eyeshadow brush. And I'm just going to dampen that a little bit with an e.l.f. setting spray. I ran out of my rose water. I'm so upset about it. And for the lid, we're going to use Colourpop. I just picked this up actually. This is the 1x1 eyeshadow, and it looks like this. I don't know if you guys can see that with my light, but it is like really pretty, kind of soft, rosy, peachy color, and it just really is creamy and smooth. And this is a Super Shock Shadow. Say that. Super Shock Shadow. So we're going to press this into our lid, but we're going to avoid the outside corner because we really want that depth on the eyelid. So we're just going to cut out our lid a little bit with this, starting at the base, working about 3/4 of the way in, and then don't take it any further than that because all that hard work, we don't want to lose it. So just create the lid. If you have a lot of lid space, awesome. If you don't, you can carve it out with some concealer, whatever works for you. And just press this in until you build the color up to exactly the desired level you want it. Back into the Zulu palette, I want to take this really pretty darker rose gold color. And it's even a little champagne-y too, because there's flecks of gold in it, there's some flecks of silver, and of course that, you know, pinkish base. And it's deeper than the color that we first placed on our lids. So you're going to wipe off your brush and then go back in with this color, and now put that in between where the lightest color is and the darkest color is, right in that middle ground. This is going to help you kind of merge the colors from the lightest color into the darker color. And you're just going to kind of press this into the center of the lid. And like I said, just marry those colors together. Again, using that same brush, wipe it off one more time, give it one more spritz. We're going to dip it into this really pretty matte purple in the Zulu palette, which is a little bit lighter than the color that we actually placed in our crease and on our lid earlier. But this is just going to pop even more now because you have that darker color underneath it. Awesome sauce, guys. So now what we want to do is start working on the underneath of our eye. The underneath of our eye. That sounds so weird. We're going to start working on that lash line. So we're going to take a nice clean brush, and this is a Real Techniques highlighting type brush, setting brush. And we're just going to start dusting out some of that powder. You can still leave the powder that is resting along your jawline and just focus on the powder that is around the nose and under the eyes right now. And I think I've said this before in other videos, when it comes to my lower lash line, I generally start with the darkest color and then work my way to the lightest. So we go backwards. On the crease and the top, we go light to dark. On my lash line, I like to go dark to light. I find it's easiest that way. So starting with that dark plum, we're going to grab a pencil brush from Sigma. This is the E30. Go back into that dark plum. Focus this on just the outside corner. So where your line goes as far as, you know, the outside corner, you're just going to kind of extend that now downward into your lower lash line. Okay, so now taking that plummy color, that like dark grapey color, we're going to take that on the same brush and go over that darkest plum wine color. And I'm going to bring it a little bit further, about halfway in now. Finish off the lower lash line with the same brush. We're now going to go back into the Masquerade and again use that Barney colored grape color. They're all families of grape. It's just like light to dark. So this is like the lightest grape. And we're going to take this now across the whole bottom all the way into the corner. And it's okay if you get a little bit messy with this. This is easy to clean up. And it's okay to take it down even a little further, because based on the shape of your eye, you want to smoke it out and just make it look really sexy. Now using an e.l.f. lip brush. I like lip brushes because they're extremely movable and soft, but they're really good for detailing underneath the eye. We're going to go back into that Zulu palette and we're just going to grab the orange. I'm not going to do the pink and I'm not going to do the gold. I just want that orange to kind of warm up underneath our eye. And that's going to be the last color that we do. And this, like I said, is nice and flimsy, this brush. So it really gets in there and just blurs everything out, makes it a really soft line, and smokes it out. If you have any fallout, guys, which I'm sure you might because it's inevitable, sometimes with really pigmented shadows, the payoff's awesome, they blend beautifully, but there's just a lot of fallout in the palette. So that's what I found, the one downside to the Zulu palette. So I'm just going to go in now with my Heavenly Luxe Jumbo brush from IT Cosmetics and just clean out around my nose and my eye area and my forehead. and just dust away any type of shadow that may have fallen out. So really quickly off camera, I'm going to start doing my contour and my blush and my highlight, because you guys have seen all of that. And if you want to know my routine, it's in my previous video. That's the most current contour, blush, highlight routine. So definitely check that out, but I'm going to go do that off camera. And then I will come back and show you guys basically the final steps, which is the eyeliner. Today we're going to be using my favorite Maybelline Curvitude liner. On ahead and contoured. I have put on blush. I have done some highlighter. I am feeling it, except for the fact that we haven't finished our eyes. So I want to use the Curvitude eyeliner from Maybelline today, and I'll show and also the Maybelline Lash Sensational Luscious Impact Mascara. Ugh, all these shushes. So anyway, I'm going to take my liner and I'm going to be using a compact so I can see where I'm going with this. But basically with this liner, you have these like little arrows that tell you how to turn the liner. So you're just going to screw the cap right off. Don't pull, because I tried to do that and didn't get anywhere. And then it's your choice of how you want to hold it as far as, you know, your angle. When I do the winged portion, I like to flip the curve up, but then when I line across the top, I like to curve it down. So I like to start kind of right in the corner and really get into the skin where my lashes, you know, kind of meet my eyelid, and just very gently start pulling this across, and then flip it the other way to start building from the outside in. And because it has such a fine point, you can really get close to the lash line. So just do a little bit at a time, and then I like to flip it, and I'm going to create a liner that is following the shape of my eyeshadow. So I'm going to start with the wing and then pull it over. And just kind of go in and fill it in and make it as thick as you want, as thin as you want. So for lips, I went ahead and lined them with Colourpop's R&B, and it is a beautiful kind of plum raisin color. And then I also used the Colourpop Ultra Matte Lip in the same color. It is beautiful. I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is on its way out, so I'm not sure if you can still get it, but check their website, because I got it as a bundle on sale, and it came with the lippy stick. And this is in the color Party Foul, but it's still in that really pretty kind of plum wine raisin family. So I really, really love it. I'll swipe off with our Lash Sensational Luscious Mascara. And I'm going to actually do a coat of this first, then curl my lashes and do a second coat. I know you're not supposed to curl after you apply, but sue me. Okay, you guys, so this is the finished look, and I really love it. Oh my god. I'm like totally feeling the lips, love the eyes, love the shadow. I'm just like ready. I'm ready for this Indian summer, move into fall, move into the holidays. I cannot wait, you guys. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this get ready with me and this eye makeup tutorial. If you have any questions about anything that I use, please comment down below. I would love to hear from you anyway. Just say hello if you're new to my channel. What's up, you guys? Check out my videos. I hope you like it. Again, this look was inspired by one of my favorite tapestries that's hanging up in my room. And of course the fall and the colors and the vibe and all of it. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and I will list information that I use down below, the products. Yeah, hope you enjoyed it. Thanks again, guys, and I'll see you again really soon.